Okay, so I know I'm a little late on this topic, but I really want to talk about the recent Xbox campaign that they launched last week where the Xbox is everywhere. Everything is an Xbox because I see a lot of negative backlash, mostly on Twitter and YouTube, where people's like, this is a failure. They're like, what's going on with Xbox? Like, this is just absolutely horrendous. And I see a lot of this discourse going around, which is weird because I looked at that campaign and I thought like, oh, this was actually brilliant. Like, I feel like Microsoft and Xbox is actually coming out and telling you this is what an Xbox is. We are going outside the box. And that is something as a fan of Xbox, I can really appreciate. And I'm glad that they actually put this little trailer together to kind of let fans know. Like, I really appreciate that marketing campaign from Xbox. When you look at Xbox, right? Xbox for years has sort of been in like this struggle against PlayStation. It's always been Xbox versus PlayStation. And I think anybody with any common sense, we can kind of look around the room and like, look, PlayStation won the console war. There's no if or buts about it. Let's just call it the way it is. PlayStation won the console war. But for the longest time, we see companies like Nintendo, which there's three big companies in the world of gaming. It's Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. Nintendo is very successful, but they do something completely different than what Xbox and PlayStation does. Xbox and PlayStation is in this like power struggle to be like this high-end gaming market where they want like the cutting-edge graphics and all this stuff, and they're kind of really competing for the same audience, where Nintendo really sort of back in the Wii era, they're like, look, we're going to do something completely different. We're going to go attack the family-friendly entertainment, just have fun. We're going to attack that market. And look at the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch is on pace to be in the highest selling game console of all time. Like, it could possibly dethrone the PlayStation 2. Like, everybody has a Nintendo Switch. I had multiple Nintendo Switches. Like, the Nintendo Switch is very successful because Nintendo went outside its comfort zone to do something completely different. And I actually applaud Microsoft going, hey, look, we lost this console war. We're never going to outsell PlayStation. PlayStation is the default console in people's household. When people think gaming console, they automatically think PlayStation. So we're going to take a different strategy. Much like Nintendo, we're going to take a different strategy, and we're going to put our games everywhere. And we're going to allow the players to choose where they want to play the game. If you want to play it on cloud, PC, PlayStation, your phone, wherever you want to play this thing, you have the ability to play this thing everywhere. And you also can just buy an Xbox console. They're not giving up on the console market. They're just having more additions to it. So they're not relying on console sales. Like, PlayStation's gonna run into this wall eventually too, where they even come out and said, Sony's even come out and said, yes, we're selling consoles, but we're not expanding the market. The market is pretty much set because a lot of the younger generation, they want to play on their phones. They want to play on their tablets. They're not interested in having a console, and a lot of these players only want to play like Fortnite and Roblox and these type of games. And Microsoft, seeing the writing on the walls, like, we have to do something different. Much like Nintendo went out of their comfort zone and did something different, because back in the the late 80s, early 90s, man, it was Nintendo and Sega, and those were the two head consoles. And then PlayStation entered the market, and then Microsoft entered the market, and Nintendo was like, look, we had to do something completely different. So I applaud Microsoft to take a different approach. Stop trying to compete with PlayStation, because that's a battle you're just not going to win, and do something completely different. And I really like that marketing. I think it's a brilliant marketing. Like, hey, we're going to play everywhere. For all you Xbox fans, you can play on your dedicated Xbox device. If you want to play on PC, you can. Now, full disclosure, I sold my Series X a few months ago. When I found out Indiana Jones was coming to PC just a few months after Xbox, at that point I was like, there's no reason for me to keep an Xbox. I have a top of the line PC that also has Game Pass, and I'm enjoying Call of Duty just like a lot of other people. I'm just playing Call of Duty, having fun with it. I'm playing it on PC with Game Pass, and that's what I like the fact that I can still be an Xbox fan and play on my PC and not have a dedicated Xbox console. And I think that's brilliant. Like, if you're a PlayStation fan, if you're someone who's like scoffing at this whole idea, it's like, oh, this is so stupid, this is dumb marketing, blah, 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 blah. Well, if you're a PlayStation fan and you're playing Call of Duty Black Ops, like it or not, guess what? You're playing on an Xbox. Your console might not be an Xbox, it might be a PlayStation 5, but guess what? Call of Duty is an Xbox game. So even if you purchase it, you are still giving money toward Xbox, and you're kind of proving their point that everything can be an Xbox, a Fire Stick, a PlayStation 5, a Nintendo Switch. If it has Xbox games, you are playing on an Xbox. It's all about revenue. Microsoft wants to take care of their shareholders, want to increase revenue, increase the amount of players that are spending time with their games, and they don't care if it's on PlayStation. Like, it's a brilliant move. I don't understand why so many people are so quick to say this is a failure, this is stupid. Like, I think this is the smartest thing Microsoft has done in a long time. It's like, hey, look, whatever, Doom, all these games, Doom Dark Ages, all these games are gonna be on multiple consoles. But if you're an Xbox fan, nothing changes for you. You can still play on your Xbox. You can still play these games. We're not taking anything away from you. We're just making it to where more players can play. And that's it. Doesn't matter if I sold my Xbox Series X. It doesn't matter. I have a PC. This is a very high-end Xbox. My PC is an Xbox. And I feel like Microsoft is sort of going the same route Valve is, where like the Steam, like you don't need a Steam machine, right? Steam is pretty much anywhere. You can buy a Steam Deck, you can play Steam on your phone, you can do all this sort of thing. And I feel like Microsoft is taking that same route with their services, and I think it's a brilliant strategy. Like, everything is an Xbox. Go outside the norm. Do what Nintendo did. Like, basically go for a completely different demographic, right? And Nintendo's like, hey, look, Sony, Microsoft wants to play in this box. We're going to do something completely different. And guess what? It's an alternative. And I think that's brilliant on Nintendo's part. And it was massively... Nintendo is all about great software. Nintendo is the only place where you can get games like Mario and Zelda and Metroid. And their IPs are just insane. And now Xbox is like, hey, we got a lot of IPs, we have a lot of studios. Let's go multi-platform. Let's make it where everybody can play everywhere. And I think it's just a brilliant move. And I don't understand why everybody's so quick to just poo-hoo on this whole situation, because I think it's just brilliant. Like, I think people are so stuck into the old mindset of what video game consoles are, and they're not willing to update with the times. It's okay to be able to play things everywhere because you want to reach that younger demographic. The younger kids do not just want to be tied to one console. Like, I believe statistics came out for PlayStation where they said like half their user base are still on the PlayStation 4. They have not upgraded to the PlayStation 5 yet because games like Fortnite and all that stuff is still playable on the PS4. There's no reason for people to update to a PS5 if they can still play the games that they want to play on the PlayStation 4. Same thing with the Xbox One and Xbox Series X. There's no reason to upgrade. We're getting into this territory, I think, in the next couple generations where the box is not going to be as important. A lot of people are moving over to PC like me. I never thought in a million years I went from console gamer to a PC gamer. But I switched. I made that switch, and I love that whole. I love PC gaming. I like the fact that I can play every type of game. It doesn't matter. The console war idea is just stupid. But I like the fact that Microsoft is embracing this, and they're seeing the writing on the wall. And I think Microsoft, when you go back and look at Microsoft has always been right, but a little bit early. Like, Microsoft was the first one to really, I know Sega sort of with the Dreamcast with online, but Xbox Live was the one that really took it to the forefront. Then they were the first to do achievements. They were the first to do like this whole online dashboard and Xbox Live and all this stuff. Even the Xbox One, which everybody lost their mind about, you look at the PS5 and all that, like, that's what those consoles are now. Xbox has always been at the forefront of what the future of gaming was, but they were always a little too early for the audience. But now, like, you can kind of see it, and I think again, I think it's a brilliant marketing on them. And this is coming from a guy who doesn't even own his Xbox no more. I play my Xbox games on my PC. But for people to boo-hoo this, just again, if you're playing Call of Duty Black Ops on PlayStation 5, you are playing on an Xbox. That is the beauty of this marketing, is that everything is an Xbox. You can boo-hoo Xbox all you want. At the end of the day, if you're playing their software, you're supporting Xbox. That's just the way it is. So anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. Please leave your comments in the comment box below. If you guys can smash that thumbs up and subscribe, I would appreciate it. Until next time, as always, I am Mr. Storms Inc., and that's my opinion.